welcome. Um, I'm definitely gonna talk about to see we're gonna talk about two issues today, guys. Just gonna because these two issues have to go together. But like I've said, all of my lives are gonna be very focused. And I'm gonna talk about, of course, the brawl in parliament, but not for us to ignore, the actual verification process. So I'm gonna let folks come in and then we'll take it from there. All right. So yes, welcome everybody, guys. Welcome. Absolutely welcome. Whilst I'm waiting for you guys to check in, because again, like you've seen the title of my live today, I'm basically going to talk about, the disgrace, the disrepute that the NEC chairman has brought to Sierra Leone and the SLPP as a political party, the disrepute, disrepute and the disrespect that they've brought to the name of Sierra Leone, the utter disrespect and disrepute. Where they don't bring calm to a nation, to the name of Sierra Leone. That's what I want to talk about, guys. So welcome everybody. Welcome, guys. And sure you share the live, all right? Because we have to talk about these issues. The fraud verification process. You see how shameful and how disgraceful that is. And then I'm going to talk about, of course, the leader of the opposition, the members of parliament and their responsibility. I saw, what happened in parliament. But again, that is not going to be so much of what I want us to focus on, but let's focus on the voter suppression that is actually going on right now and the the responsibilities of parliament, what they should do. Hello, Dunstan and Nicole, how are you? George Orwell, how'd it go? Yes, Mama, Kushe Mama. I'm fine, I'm fine. Thank you. Thanks for joining, guys. We're going to get this live going, guys. There's a lot of things I want to share and discuss with you guys. But again, like I said, the first thing I'm going to start off with is, the brawl in parliament for, us to talk about that. And then, of course, like I said, again, the most important thing for me is to focus on, what has actually happened, you know? So first of all, the first thing I want to say, guys, is to make it very clear that Abbas Bundu, the Speaker of Parliament, Abbas Bundu, could have avoided this situation as the Speaker of Parliament. But again, there are many variations to this, right? Up till this day, we have not heard from Honorable Cherikoko. Guys, up till this day, we've not heard from Honorable Cherno Majuba, who is the leader of the opposition in APC. They said he's in ECOWAS Parliament. We don't even know because he did not announce his travels. Again, these guys should tell us, the people, the Sierra Leonean taxpayers that are actually funding these trips, when they travel, we should know. It should not be a secret. But this is the problem, because these guys are people lack civic education. So people are not even actually holding them accountable. The folks don't know these things. But the leader of the opposition, members of parliament, cannot be traveling on taxpayers' dime and not announce to the people that they're actually traveling. There should be nothing secretive about these guys traveling. So now, in as much as that is not the focus of my life, but it's a very important aspect of this whole thing, we want to know, what does Honorable Chino Majuba knows before he left when he went to ECOWAS Parliament? What does he know? Because I know, as the leader of the opposition, he has, I'm sure they've given him at least a week or 2 weeks notice before he left. But again, everybody, whilst you share this live, I just want you guys to understand exactly where I'm going to go with this. I'm going to talk about two things predominantly. Of course, the fights in parliament that I've just shown you guys, analyze that a little bit. And then I'm going to go into, what is actually happening with the voter verification process right now. How shameful that is, how disrespectful that is, how much disrepute that has brought to the name of Sierra Leone across the world. The verification process is fraught, rotten. It's like if somebody tells me that this is 2022, I'll be like, it's a lie. This is not 2022. I'm looking at that and I'm thinking we're still in the 1940s, in the 1930s. I cannot believe with my eyes that what I'm seeing is an actual voter registration process, verification process. The whole thing about this election has been fraught from the beginning. And these are the things we want members of parliament to be fighting about. Yes, the proportional representation system, which they fought for in parliament, it's as much as important, because we know That Section 38A of the Constitution makes it very clear that at the time when elections are announced and constituencies don't exist, that is the only time the president may consult with the NEC Commissioner. May. So everybody understands why we had the PR system back in 1996, right? Because we had a rebel war. So the PR system is like a default. It's like a de facto, not even a default. The default is the constituency-based elections. But the PR system is just an option in the event where there are no constituencies. But everybody knows that the last boundary delimitation was done in 2017. And these boundaries have a lifespan of about 5 to 7 years. Everybody understands this now, right? These are things that we've been talking about, right, constantly. And so we have constituencies that exist up until 2024. So the PR system should not be an option. But I saw some papers being filed today at the Supreme Court so that the Supreme Court can interpret the Constitution. Because again, the president cannot declare for us to have an election using the PR system. That is sacrosanctly clear. I hope everybody understands that part. That is a legislative approach. If anything, is a legislative approach. It has to be done in Parliament, not using a statutory instrument. Now, Parliament is the supreme legislative authority. Section 105 of the Constitution, the 1991 Constitution, makes it very clear. Parliament is the supreme legislative authority, which means Parliament is where you make laws. So if the president wants to change how we have our elections, when we know default in the Constitution, again, the 2001 amendments of the Constitution, which is Section 38A. Guys, I'm not showing you the Constitution because I want you guys to, stay with me, follow with me. If you have the Constitution, a copy of the Constitution, you can turn to those pages. But Section 38A is an amended section of the Constitution. And so the only reason why that came in being is because we had the brutal rebel war and certain areas were unreachable. So now that I've laid the premise, everybody understands this. Let us go into the fight of Parliament. Where is Honorable Cherno Majuba of the APC party? Why is it that this man has not tweeted up till this day? This man has not made a single statement up till this day. That is what I really want to talk to you guys about. And I want you guys to see this because I want you guys to understand where I'm coming from. And I posted this on my Twitter today. This is my Twitter page right here, guys. I posted it on my Twitter. I say it's been 5 days since the brawl in Parliament. We have not heard from Honorable Cherno, the leader of the opposition. Incidences of such magnitude requires an initial statement of admonition from him within 24 hours until a full statement is prepared. Why is Cherikoko silent? And the reason why I'm asking this fundamental question, everybody, and I want you guys to understand this, it is because at a time like this, an effective leader, regardless of where he's at, he has access to information, he has access to technology, your cell phone, everything, right? When something like that happens, this is a very tarnishing, image for a country, for a parliament to involve in such brutal fight from both sides, both the SLPP and the APC. The leader of the opposition is out of the country. We want to know, guys, these are the questions we have. What does Honorable Cherno Ba knows about the tabling of this bill in Parliament? What in this man sabi? What in know where we don't know? For saying that when this man left go na this ECOWAS Parliament, now they left push this bill behind him as at the table. If as the leader of the opposition, if he is really disappointed, he can make a simple statement right now in ECOWAS via a short video and share that across the world on his Twitter page. He's a legislator. He's the leader of the opposition. You cannot be silent for 5 days. Every now and again, this guy is doing the same things. You know why? Because again, he does not respect the people. But this man should not be silent. This man should have told us exactly what's in his mind. What he gets now in mind, if I don't tell we at this particular point, he should speak to Sierra Leoneans. He should make a simple statement from ECOWAS Parliament now. Simply saying, this man cannot tell us he does not have time. In his hotel room, he has enough time. Nigeria and Sierra Leone, the same time zone. You still within West Africa. When it's 5 o'clock in Sierra Leone, it's 5 o'clock in Nigeria. So what is the problem? Why is it that this man cannot just put out a simple statement saying, I have seen what happened in Parliament. I am disappointed to say the least. In my absence, the government decided to table the PR, bill in my absence. That is uncouth. It should not happen. It's totally disgraceful. And this goes back to the fact that this government has always, tried to, destroy procedures and policies in our nation. They've destroyed our democracy. This man, as he made a statement at the ECOWAS Parliament regarding these things, as the leader of the opposition, we should not be telling these guys what to do. This is how leaders that respect their people should behave. And that was why I went one step further, guys. I showed you guys this. Let me show you guys what I'm talking about right here. I want you guys to see what I tweeted. 6 common traits of bad leadership. This is it right here. 6 common traits of bad leadership when it comes to leader of the opposition, Chino Majuba. Poor communication. Very poor in his communication. Again, guys, if you don't follow me on Twitter, try to ensure you follow me on Twitter. If you don't have a Twitter account, set it up, guys. That's the simplest and easiest way of communicating. And make sure you go follow me. This is all you have to look for. Fauna IB. That's all you look for. But guys, these are the things we're saying. This is my Twitter page right here, guys. Go follow me. Go on Twitter. Go look for me. Fauna IB. You're not going to miss that. Fauna IB is right there. Right here where my cursor is. Where you guys see the cursor right there. But Honorable Cheno Majubas, the leader of the opposition, we should not be talking about things like these. We should not be telling him what to do. As the leader of the opposition, regardless of where he's at this particular point in time, it should make a statement to express his disappointment in the government, calling out the speaker, the president, and all of these people involved to table a bill in his absence. But this man knows. This goes to the thing we've talked about, that this man, Honorable Cheno Bas, sold to President Bio. This man has been compromised. This is the same man that we saw, attending the birthday party with Sidi Tunis. And Sidi Tunis is the speaker of the ECOWAS parliament. This is his body. These are the same people that share the King Ho money. Don't forget the mining deal. Remember when there's this live that we did, myself, Cashbox, when he came, about this finding, the bill of lading of a 2021 Lexus LX 570 Super Sport, $110,000 vehicle. How can any member of parliament in Sierra Leone, a nation where the average Sierra Leone cannot afford $1 a day, how can members of parliament drive a $110,000 vehicle? How can even a president be driving a $110,000 vehicle? But that's what we have. So that's why I showed this poor communication of a leader. These are some of the traits of bad leadership. Very poor communication. Up to this day, we don't know what's in the mind of Honorable Cheno Majuba. You can speak about these things until you prepare a full statement. But at least you can give that initial reaction for people to know that you're abreast, you're aware of everything that is happening. So let's get back to Parliament. Let's get back to Parliament. And there is something I want to really talk about with this video that's very disappointing that I want you guys to see. And this is the roles and responsibilities of these guys in Parliament. When you talk about the clerk of Parliament, Sierra Leoneans, I want you guys to understand, parliamentarians, when it comes to the security of members of Parliament in the well, I'm going to get into the Constitution and what protects, how members of Parliament are protected. But I want to talk about the Sergeant at Arms. When we say Sergeant at Arms, is the person that is responsible for the security of parliamentarians within the wells of Parliament. First of all, no police officer has no right. No right, I repeat, no police officer has no rights to enter the well of Parliament. But you know why they've continued to do it? Because they did it with the censors. The leader of the opposition, after they made that little fighting thing they did, blah, 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 that was the end of it. Nothing after. Honorable Cheno Ba of the APC has never followed up on his actions. Nothing after that to even challenge these guys up until to the Supreme Court to say that no more and never again shall police officers enter the well of Parliament and use tear gas on them or use violence on them. The police officers have no place in the well of Parliament. The Parliament in itself is a body that can regulate itself. They have a sergeant at arms. He is the only person that can actually become the security officer within that well of Parliament. Him and his people that he has in there. Because it's not just him alone. He has a team. That is the responsibility of the sergeant at arms. So when I saw this video of this, this Tarawali, this guy, listen to this.
So make sure you turn on this area and make sure people do not disrupt the city. If anybody disrupts the city by the standing orders of Parliament, that person should be outside the way. Okay? So you can get your men to turn on this area so that city will come. Please do it quickly.
You see, this guy is giving authority, giving a command to the police officers. First of all, again, like I said, these police officers don't belong in that well of Parliament. This man is a clerk of Parliament. That is not his responsibility under those circumstances to be issuing command to the police force. To the police force against other members of Parliament, supreme legislative authorities. Parliamentarians are the most protected people on the face of the planet. Yes. And again, I say this because I want you guys to understand when it comes to the immunity of parliamentarians, and that is why people like Kande Yumkela, we are so disappointed in them. When Kande Yumkela was an ordinary citizen like myself, right? No immunity during the days of the APC. And this was why I supported this man. This man was raving hell across that country. Hegdeo, anybody we naku, they fat, they go le complain. Anybody we fat, they go le complain. Hegde. Hey, Tolongbo, they don't pull up on you. They don't catch you. This was Kande Yumkela with no immunity. They talk like a parrot, free. All of a sudden, this man has immunity in parliament. Now this man cannot talk. No, this man has lost his trail of thoughts. But Parantarawali, as the clerk of parliament, his only responsibility is administrative duties. Parantarawali has no responsibility to do the job of the sergeant at arms, who's the person that is responsible. These guys, this is the thing, Sierra Leoneans. We have a beautiful constitution. I accept there are certain areas of the constitution when you talk about the presidency, right? Section 40, all the way through there. When you talk about the powers of the president, we have to revise those, I understand. But still, we have a constitution that is a beautiful book. It is a beautiful document. People just have to respect this. They will tell you according to the standing orders in parliament, there is no law that supersedes the constitution of the country. There is no standing order that supersedes the constitution of Sierra Leone. There is no other ancillary or auxiliary law that supersedes the 1991 constitution of Sierra Leone. I want to make that fact very clear. So Parantarawali is only an administrative head of parliament. He is not responsible for the security of parliament. The sergeant at arms, all Parantarawali would have done was talk to the sergeant at arms. The sergeant at arms should have a conversation with, and even again, like I said, the police should not be there. The sergeant at arms has a team. So these are the questions we want to know. The sergeant at arms, this is the person responsible for the security of parliament. How many members does he have in his team? How much security personnel the sergeant at arms gets now in team for actually interfere into this? There should be no uniformed police officer in that parliament going against members of parliament, the supreme legislative authorities in our country, the most powerful people in our country. Section 105 Gidenani. Now let's go to section 100 of the Constitution, guys. Guys, I'm just going to go. I don't want to be showing stuff here and there. Section 100 makes it very clear that members of parliament have immunity from prosecution. Immunity from prosecution on their way to parliament and from parliament. What does that tell you? On their way to parliament, when they're in parliament and they're leaving parliament, these people are protected. Members of parliament are even immune from witness or summons. So he didn't say they call for members of parliament to go arrest them. Listen to me, guys. I want you guys to understand this. The Speaker of Parliament is the only person that can release a member of Parliament, and that has to be done through procedures. And these are all things that Chaino Bad knows. It has to be done through procedures. Guys, when I tell you guys, say, I'm going to contest the presidency in 2023, these are the reasons. Because there's too many lapses, man. There's too many people that don't have a clue of what to do. This is the reason why, how long can I be up there just screaming and yelling, thief, 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 criminals? It's about time I get down on the floor and get dirty as well. And that is why I say I'm going to contest for the presidency in that country. Because these things that I'm saying, maybe these guys don't know. And this is what they should do. This is what they should read. They should learn. They should expand. I don't have time, but I'm making time out of my own busy life to read these things and understand these concepts. It is in black and white, plain English. Nothing convoluted about this whole thing. And that is why I'm telling you guys now, Parantarawali and others, we have to have a public tribunal for these people. We have to set an example in Sierra Leone. Up till now, we've not learned from the 1991 rebel war. Parantarawali should not be calling police officers to come into the well of parliament to physically abuse and attack members of parliament. This is assault on our members of parliament, regardless of what happened in that well. There's always two sides to the story. Now, two people are fed. They want to throw it, whatever the staff or whatever that was in parliament, they threw it back and forth. So it should not happen in parliament. But when we get a state of affairs like this now, like what is actually happening, it is a disgrace. Because we have a government they're stupid, they're idiots. They don't know what they're doing. They're going against our democracy. They're bastardizing our constitution, not following due process and procedures. So these others have to react. There is no reason for members of parliament to fight. But again, like I said, the fact of the matter remains, this is not a statutory instrument. It is a legislative approach. If the president says he wants to have elections using a PR system, that has to go through parliament. Parliament are the ones that make laws. It is in the constitution, and anything that is in the constitution, and you want to change that, it has to go through parliament, and not to that way go through parliaments through a statutory instrument. It has to go through a legislative means for because again, these guys did not even gazette the whole thing. They did not even gazette this PR system when they wanted to bring it to the well of parliament. But guys, I just want to break these things with you because when you see these videos, it is so disappointing. Look at how the police are handling, members of parliament. It is disgraceful. Let me show you this. There's this other video that I really wanted you guys to see because it's so heart-rendering, man. This one right here. See the level of violence, being meted on our members of parliament. It is a shame. It is a disgrace. It is ridiculous. Look at this. I want you guys to pay particular attention to this.
Police there. You see the police there. You see the police there. You see the police there. You see? You see? You see? You see the police there. You see the police there. You see the police there. Now MP na McKinney, na the rough show. Wait. That MP na McKinney, na the rough show. You see? Right, the public, let una see. And send beaucoup police there.
Guys, this should not happen. This is a disgrace. It should not happen. Under no circumstances. That is what I want to talk about. But again, whilst members of parliament are onto this, where is Honorable Chino Majuba, the leader of the opposition? No comment, no statement at this particular point in time with everything that has happened. So guys, let me go to the next topic I want to talk about. I want to show you guys the registration process, guys. It is disappointing. It is disgraceful. It is a shame. Watch this.
This now for this business, so they say next tomorrow, all sit on well. Na gone, na watch you, na gone and put it there. Every watch your name there. Emma million, Emma they will not get ticket for butu, for watch for name. People are waiting for eng or plaster or nail. Now hall, a wall. Now they put a gun for watch your name for verify for your name. From now watch you this country ID.
Guys, this is disgraceful. This is shameful. Can you believe this? In 2022? This is in 2022. A verification process where folks have to go check their registration. What a shame. What a shame. But this is what is happening, guys. So, whilst members of parliament are fighting, it is very important that we pay attention to this. Because we're talking about over 250,000, 250,000 names being deleted from the voter register. And this is all the strategy and the plan of the SLPP to do that. Look at the verification process in 2022 on this universe. This goes to everything we've been saying, the bad name, bad reputation for our country, the disrepute and disrespect that this don't bring to our country as a nation. That is what I want you guys to think about in 2022. This is how people have to go verify their names. Then lay the paper them on the floor. The papers are laid out on the floor in 2022. How is this election going to be a credible election? How on earth is this election going to be a credible election? So whilst members of parliament are fighting, guys, I don't want us to take away our eyes from the ball. Because it's about people voting. It is about NEC making sure that the section 31 of the constitution, NEC making sure that the people's rights to register And the people's right to be voted for and the people's right to vote is protected. It is in the Constitution, Section 31 protects that. And this is a verification process. This is nothing. Check this what I want out. Check this what I want out. Guys, it's school picking them. School picking them and then give the verification paper them. Look.
2022.
School picking them.
Center around Waterloo Highway, as you can see, where Africanist Press report this $10 million scandal. Now the ECSL tell me say the work would work na $8 million, $8 something million dollar. When actual sense na $2.2 million it works. Just look. Now na students away for dinner class. Now the ECSL week. That's what you see.
Yeah, young boy.
People don't check. People don't check.
I don't see.
Lord of mercy.
Currently.
Lord of mercy. Guys, I'm not on social media because of the fanfare. Believe me. You know, sometimes when I want to come on these lives, I'm like, there's multiple other things I could be doing right now. But I say, you know what? Somebody has to get this done. And I want to appreciate you guys because you've taken the time to trust in me, to believe in me. And when I come on my lives, you guys join me and you share these lives. I appreciate that. This is not for a political party. This is for Sierra Leone. Tell me, as a Sierra Leonean, tell me you're proud of these moments. As a Sierra Leonean, tell me you're proud of these moments. Tell me if this was Liberia, you were seeing videos about Liberia, about Guinea, about Mali, about, Nigeria. Tell me if those were videos you were seeing. This is something you would be laughing. You would be laughing. But this is what we are dealing with, Sierra Leone, Sierra Leoneans. This is what we are dealing with in 2022. And that is why I want you guys to understand the reason why Madabio, this guy should go. And after he goes, not only that, all of these people should be prosecuted. Mohamed Kana Wekone should be in a public hearing, in a public tribunal, to explain to us how school kids ended up being the ones that should be putting up these papers on a wall. School-going children that should be in school. How a verification process of this magnitude, do you even respect and value what it means for people's rights to vote? These are the questions. And yet, there is MCC, Ambassador David Reimer. You know, lately, if you guys see, I don't even call you guys as much anymore. Because I don't know what's going on. You know, sometimes you got to take a back, look back and see and try to understand what is going on. MCC. We're talking about civil liberties. This is all about civil liberties, political rights, ruling justly, right? Ruling justly has democratic rights. Under democratic rights, you have political rights and civil liberties. MCC, Millennium Challenge Corporation. What is going on? Look at this system. Look at this mess. The director of MCC, Miss Lisa Chesney, all of the, I don't blame the international partners because, again, look at us, right? 60 years later, we cannot even take care of ourselves. 60 years later, we are still dealing with 1940s, 1930s archaic style of conducting elections. In 2022, I cannot blame the American ambassador. I cannot blame, Ambassador David Reimer to go and fight for us here. This is where the leader of the oppositions, the Kande Yumkelas, the Cherikokos, even SLPP, as an SLP, if you're an SLPP supporter, you see in this, you should be ashamed for your country. And this is where Section 13B of the Constitution comes in. Loyalty lies to the state. To the state. Your loyalty is to the state. So even if you're an SLPP supporter, something like this should annoy you. You see this and say it's a disgrace. This is a shame to our country. This is bringing disrepute and disrespect to the name of Sierra Leone. Not only that, members of parliament are fighting in the world of parliament. when they've passed all kinds of bad laws, they've never fought against those bad laws. As recently, like my brother African Express was talking about here, you talk about the National Security and Central Intelligence Law, or an act. National Security and Central Intelligence Act of 2022 that has been passed in Parliament. This gives operatives like the power to conduct sting operations in Sierra Leone. These are the laws that these guys are passing. I don't want to go into the technicalities of what they are actually doing, what these laws are meant to do, because these laws are not for Marabio. It is to protect the next guys who think they're going to take over like the APC party and become leaders in a country. They think they would use these laws to suppress other people. They're totally forgetting that Sierra Leone has fought one of the most brutal rebel war, the 1991 Civil War, when Ali Kaba went to the bush and said they were fighting against oppression and suppression. But the poor, innocent people suffered in Sierra Leone. That is why these guys think they can continue to do these kinds of things. But members of parliament, you see these things. These are the things that members of parliament should, every one of them, should take to radio stations, TV stations, internationally to condemn this. This is something that should be shown across TV and radio stations in Sierra Leone. This is a disgrace to our reputation. This is a disgrace to Sierra Leone. This is a disgrace to us as Sierra Leoneans across the world, regardless of your political party affiliation. Put on your thinking cap for a second. Put on your sense of loyalty for a second. Imbibe Section 13B of the Constitution for a moment. Section 13B says every citizen shall cultivate a sense of nationalism and patriotism. Your loyalty should lie to the state, not to your ethnic, sectional, regional, tribal, political party, any other loyalties. Your loyalty should lie to the state, to your sovereignty, to the country. This is a bad reputation for our country. In 2022, we should not be discussing verification process like these, guys. We should not be. And then people's names were not even there. All kinds of stuff, guys. To the point where we have kids, school-going kids, are the ones that are actually, running, the verification exercise. Picking them away for them at school. That they can't do the verification exercise for we. It should not happen. It should not happen. Look at the verification exercise. The papers are on the floor. In Sierra Leone 2022, we should be ashamed. Marabio as a president should see this and resign. Because it has failed us. As the president, we should, if a fire in a serious democracy, these guys want to, a Sierra Leone's democracy is not yet matured. When is a democracy going to be matured if we cannot use the laws that we have to protect our democracy? In a serious democracy, the president should fire the NEC Commissioner. But no, he's not going to fire the NEC Commissioner. One is from the same tribe, the Mende. His name is Mohamed Kenawi Kone. He's Southeasterner. He is the one who covered up for David Francis, the former chief minister, who's now the foreign affairs minister. 1.5 million that was stolen from bribery. He covered up because he was the director at FIU, Financial Intelligence Unit. So no, they're not going to fire this guy. A serious democracy. The NEC Commissioner should be fired immediately for this. There should be no negotiation for this. It should be fired in a serious democracy across the world. It should be fired. How can you register people? In certain areas, you register 1,100 people. When verification time comes, only 38 names showed up. That is what we have in the country today. Some people, their names don't show up. Their photos don't show up. Look at what is happening. A verification exercise. But as a matter of fact, they should have NEC staff sitting there. And when people come, they should just show them on the screen, the computer screen, to say, okay, yes, this is it. Check, make sure everything is good. Blah, blah, blah. Yes, it's fine. Look at the waste of stationery and everything else. This is just waste, absolute total waste. Because they don't respect the people. It doesn't take much. That is why they do it in every other, wherever the folks register. How many people are going to come? It doesn't take much to verify somebody. It's a biometric system. It's your fingerprint. The moment you put your fingerprint on that system, it picks up on your information. It populates. That is what we should be talking about. And then they only gave the people 4 days to go and verify their names under these kinds of harsh conditions. 4 days to verify their names. Is this respect for democracy? These are the only times when I call on the international community. I want you guys to see this. Is this respect for democracy? Is this respect for the citizens? Sovereignty belongs to the people. Section 5 of the Constitution, subsection 2. The government derives its legitimacy, its authority, and its power from the people. Sovereignty belongs to the people. What is democracy? It is the power of the people, for the people, and by the people. This is what we have for verification in Sierra Leone in 2022. Every one of us should be ashamed of ourselves. You, SLPP supporter, you are on the light. You're neutral. You don't have a side. You should take a side now. This is the moment when you call the game up and say, you know what? Enough is enough for this government. Enough is enough for this SLPP. This is verification, guys. This is verification where school-going kids are the ones that are actually paid. That is if they paid them. School-going kids. These kids should be in school. Kids are the ones putting up the verification papers. Sierra Leoneans, these are the things we want to call. That is why I've been doing what I've been doing for the past 4 years since this government came to power. They failed us. There are so many other areas we can talk about, but I want to be specific with my live session these days. This is a shame. This is a disgrace. This is nonsense. This is the verification exercise. And that is why every one of us should call for an expansion of this verification exercise. Matter of fact, the verification should be open. It should be open till the day of election. Every of these areas, because these guys, they are paid. NEC in their budgets, I'm sure they budgeted for these periods. Even if these areas, let's say they don't want to, there's not enough finance or enough funds to open up every area or ward, where people registered. But the verification exercise itself should be a continuous process to where, in my presidency, these are the things I'm saying. There should be headquarters in every district. Every district, 15 districts should have headquarters for NEC where people can actually go and verify their names. Open period. There was not enough sensitization. They don't tell people, they don't inform people. Now, passing with the camera, we do audio. People are doing videos there, just to sensitize people that they have to go and check for their verification to make sure their names are there, their pictures are there, their date of birth and all that stuff is, that's the government cannot even run proper advertisements and jingles across the country to sensitize and educate people enough so people would know. It took 2 days for some people to even know that the verification exercise has begun. Is this democracy? This is suppression of democracy. This is suppression of democracy. This is violation of our civil liberties. Our civil liberties, our political rights, our democratic rights. All of that is being violated right here. When you see these videos, that is what you see. So whilst members of parliament are fighting, let us not forget that what is important is to protect the rights of the citizens to vote. Because these guys, they want these elections at all cost, crook or hook. And it's not going to happen. And that is why the opposition leader, if Kande Yumkela cannot stand up for the NGC because it wants the proportional representation system, thinking that it can increase its seats in parliament. These guys want the PR system, even though they know it's against the constitution. They want it. Up till this day, Kande Yumkela has not made a statement. Since the last time he said, we're going to invite the bank governor in a tweet, and then the next morning he said, we also want to invite the NEC, chairman, commissioner. Up to this day, they blow smoke, they let us catch the smoke, and that's it. They say, Kande Yumkela said something. Honorable Chano Majuba of the APC party, the biggest party. Again, I want to remind this man, Section 86(2) of the Constitution gives him the power, guys. All of you guys, I want you guys to study your Constitution. Section 86(2) says, as long as you have 2/3 or 20% 20% of the members of parliament in writing announce and declare to the speaker that they want to have an emergency session, the speaker shall within 14 days grant that wish. Honorable Chano Majuba of the APC party has never used Section 86(2). Everything that has happened, they say, the government is bulldozing. Honorable Chano Majuba should use Section 86(2) again to ask the Speaker of Parliament to bring the NEC Commissioner to the Well of Parliament to come and testify in front of Sierra Leoneans. These videos that I just showed you guys, what is happening here? Let him come and testify in front of the people of Sierra Leone to explain to us, how do we have verification paperwork on the floor? On the floor. for people to come and verify their registration. The papers are on the floor. You have to bend down on the floor. Let him come and explain to us how is it that children, school-going kids, are the ones that are asked to come and hang, verification paperwork. These are the questions we should ask. How did this happen? How did we get to this point in 2022? Guys, these guys wants to rig the elections of 2023. How did we get to this point? Or they go to picking in a classroom for hang the verification paperwork there. As Sierra Leoneans, these are the questions we should ask. And we should not take this lightly. We should all come together and say, let's fight. And that is why it's very crucial. Election is coming. Look at this. This is a disgrace, guys. This is a shame. We should be outraged across the country. But let me play the song of Dr. Olo real quick for you guys. I'll be right back. Give me a moment here. All right, guys. I want you guys to see these things, guys. But guys, like I said, this live was not going to be long, but I just wanted, for you guys that are just joining me, thank you, everybody. I want to show you guys this. Towards my presidential campaign, these are my pens that I just had. They just came. And what I want to do is, it's going to be a little blurry, but I will show you guys these pens so you guys can see. I want to start raising funds, guys. It seems like 2020 is far away, but I want to start raising funds. So I have these pens that I'm going to sell them. I wouldn't say sell them, but it's like your contribution towards my campaign. And it's going to be $50 a piece, guys. I'm going to put a link when you guys can start to order. It's going to be on my Facebook page, on my Twitter page. And so that is why it's important for you guys to make sure you get on Twitter, open up a Twitter account. Learn, go on YouTube, just watch some videos to see how you set up a Twitter account. But these pens are going to come from me to you. But I'm going to let you know, I'm going to share the link so you can see them. It bears my name, it has my phone number, People's Liberation Academy. That is going to be a political party, but we'll see. Because again, like I said, my goal is to give Dr. Samura Kamara a chance. I'm going to be very clear on this, right? Let us give this man a chance. He's going to be the president in 2023, and let us see what he does. In 2028, if Dr. Samura Kamara fails us, that's when I come in. Guys, I'm not going to rush this thing. No, I have enough time. Ibrahim, don't wait until 2028. No, we don't have to rush this. So that is why I'm going to start raising funds, guys. These are my pens. You can order them for $50, guys. I'm going to put the link so that you can order these pens. I'm going to create that link. So give me some time to do that so you can actually buy these pens online. It's $50 a piece. It is going to go towards my 2028 campaign for presidency in 2028. We have to start raising funds. We have to prepare. 5 years is not enough. You think that 5 years is a long time. It's not a long time. So yes, these pens are going to be available for you guys to order. It's going to be special from me to you. You have a pen of the People's Liberation Academy. Because back here, all I do is about teaching, guys. It's about civic responsibility. I want every Sierra Leonean to be educated enough to where we know our basic fundamental rights. And so we can hold leaders accountable. Because, guys, for us to have a better country, for us to have a Sierra Leone that is going to thrive, where we can stop having these situations, if you don't want to see what you saw with the registration verification process, these are the things I want to fight against. We deserve to be in the 2022 eras. Look at Qatar. You would say these nations are wealthy, they are rich, they have oil, they have gas and this and that. What would you say about Dubai? Same thing. They have oil and this and that. No, it's the mentality of the leadership. And that is what is crucial. That is what is important. It's about the leaders that are really ready to work for the people. So Qataris are some of the most richest people in the world. The average Qatarist is worth more than $1 million. In Qatar, for example, it is only 380,000 people of a population of almost 3 million. But of that 3 million, it's almost 2.4 million foreigners. So the Qataris don't even work. They use other people from other countries to work for them. Sierra Leone deserves that as well. Sierra Leoneans could enjoy that life. I believe in that. All it takes is about having empathy and sympathy to not allow your people to go and verify themselves like these. When we have elections, this is not how, this is shameful. But guys, that's what I want to remind you guys. So when members of parliament are fighting, this is what is important for you guys to remember. The verification of our citizens. We all have to call on the government. We all have to resist and stand against the PR system. Write a letter if you can. Hold your leaders accountable. Hold Honorable Chano Majuba accountable. Hold Kane Yumkela accountable. Listen, guys, when I say these things, I don't say it lightly. You see, when we talk about loyalty to the state, I'm a classic example. May her soul rest in peace. Dr. Yumkela's wife. So much respect between myself and her. But the kind of relationship I built with that lady, if anyone tells you that, Ibrahim would be speaking up against Dr. Yumkela today, you wouldn't believe it. But that's not me, because my allegiance is not to one person, it's not to anybody. It's to Sierra Leone. If you don't act right, our friendship is over. That is my mentality. And that is the mentality you should have. If you don't do right by the people, our friendship is over. It's not about me. It's about the people. It's about our citizens in the villages and towns that don't have access to water, don't have access to clean drinking water, pipe-borne water, don't have access to healthcare, don't have access to proper education. We have one of the highest literacy rates in the country. We are at the bottom of every index in the world you can think about. That's why I'm fighting. So guys, again, like I said, I'm going to end this live here, but I want to show you these pens. Shortly, I'll let you guys know when they will be available to order. But, I'll put a link on my Facebook page, on my Twitter account, on my Instagram, all of that stuff, right? So everybody can have a copy of it. So prepare yourself to order one. It's going to cost you $50. If you're supporting my presidential campaign in 2028. Because, again, it's standby, right? We're on a standby. Listen, guys, let me tell you this. I was born in APC. I love APC. My grandfather back in 1967, Sembo Fona, was the man that came with 15 Land Rovers for APC at a time where, that was how people even knew APC had won the elections. Let me tell you guys this. That was how people even knew APC had won the elections. When those 15 Land Rovers arrived from the water key. That was how people knew that APC has won the elections. That was my grandfather for the APC. He gave Shaka Stevens one, and he kept one for himself. And he gave each constituency one Land Rover. 15 at the time, we had 13 constituencies. Gave each constituency a Land Rover. Now with Grandpa, so if we're talking about stake in the APC as a party, we have a stake, we have a name. When you say Fona, we name inside the APC. But no, we can't make blah blah blah. So man, we're not one guy, they not sabi nothing, and they can make champion for the APC party today. So that is why I say I'm going to support Dr. Samura Kamara for the presidency 2023. But I know Dr. Samura Kamara might fulfill, the dreams and desires that some of us have. We know it's not easy, it's not overnight, but a lot could be done in 5 years. We know that too. So if Dr. Samura Kamara does well in 2023 to 2028, we'll let him go again. Look at me, I'm a young man. I have a lot of time to go. What am I rushing for? Nothing. I have nothing to rush about. Nothing to rush about. But that is the plan. We have to have a plan as a young individual. They say, hey, Brian, don't wait until you're old before you want to know. Do it when you're young. No. Let's give people a chance. And I'm prepared to give Dr. Samura Kamara that chance. That is why these guys are passing all kinds of bad laws to restrict people like myself. So when we come to register a political party, because you're going to have, again, same APC people that think they have more stake in APC than people like myself. Who say, hey, Ibrahim, no register. Say if you register, all your votes now, APC votes that you go get. And then, But if these guys are not doing right in the APC party, why should I hold back? But again, 2028 is the vision, guys. So that is what I'm telling you guys. I've ordered these pens, as you can see here. Nice, beautiful pens. Has the People's Liberation Academy on them, And I know it's a little blurry there. Yeah, it's hard to see. People's Liberation Academy. You can order these pens to support my 2028 presidential bid for $50. That's where we're at. So let me leave this live here, guys. Have a beautiful day, everybody. It's only Monday. I have other things to do. Let me go take care of those stuff, and I'll talk to you guys again, okay? I love you guys. Share. And go follow me on Twitter. Again, Let me show you my Twitter page. All of you guys, I want every one of you, if you don't have a Twitter page and you're on here right now, I want you to go and make it a point of duty to get on Twitter now. Go on your app store. Go download Twitter now so you can follow me on Twitter. Right here. This is my page on Twitter. This is what it looks like. You're going to search for Fauna IB right here. That's what you search for. Fauna IB. You see on the screen here, big one. That is the name you're going to look for. Fauna IB. Go set up your Twitter account. Make sure your Twitter name is very simple and straight to the point. Don't make it complicated. Don't make it too long, okay? Those are the things to look out for. Go on Twitter. Learn to communicate. You see, when you come on Twitter, like, for example, I will show you this. This is some of the tweets that I do, you know? Like this tweet that I did here for, asking where is Honorable Cheno Ba? Why is it that up till this day, he has not made a statement about the brawl in Parliament? So this is how you do it. Things come to your mind. You can express yourself freely here. It's not like a Facebook Live where you say you have to take much time. No, you can just type something that you think about. If you can improve your your English, your punctuations and all that stuff, that's beautiful as well. But get on Twitter if you don't have a Twitter account. You have to get on there. If you're watching this live, you're not following my Facebook, follow my Facebook page. And of course, all my friends on YouTube as well, because you guys are watching me from, I think, 3 different platforms right now. Believe it or not, you can watch me on YouTube, you can watch me on Facebook, you can watch me on Twitch. Matter of fact, I have somebody's watching me on Twitch. One person on Twitch. Twitter, I have 1. Facebook, I have 46, and YouTube, I have 34. So of course, I want to reach everybody, regardless of where you're at, because not everybody has a Twitter page. Not everybody has a Facebook, or Facebook or YouTube, right? If you have some people have YouTube, they don't have Twitter, Facebook. They have Facebook, they don't have YouTube. So I'm trying to reach everybody from wherever you are. But a Twitter account is a must. Every one of you guys, I want you guys to have a Twitter account. Hey, President Nkrumah has a Twitter account, has Instagram account, has a Facebook account, has a LinkedIn account, has everything. President Nkrumah, President Joe Biden, Bernie Sanders, all leaders across the world. That is how you engage your people now. And that is why I want to engage every one of you guys. I want nobody to be left out. Yeah? But again, ask Honorable Cheno Majuba, where is he? As the leader, he's been compromised. All the publications of the Africanist press, guys, this man has never brought anything to the world of Parliament. The thievery of the First Lady, $10 million scandal, Timbergate, Honorable Cheno Majuba of the APC as the leader of the opposition. These are winning contests. This man has never brought anything to the world of Parliament. He's the most corrupt leader of the opposition we've ever had in Sierra Leone. What is he hiding? Why is he compromised with the SLPP? These are the things that these guys have to answer to the people of Sierra Leone. What is wrong with him? Why is he silent? He's sitting by and watching the people suffer. What is the problem? This man has not challenged the SLPP government for nothing. They will do it, and all of a sudden, everything disappears. Census, they said the fight against the census. We still had a census anyways. This man could not even go to the courts to say, hey, listen, we've already fought in Parliament. I'm going to take this matter again to the Supreme Court to ensure that this census does not go through. Test every organ of the country. That is why we have a constitution, and that is why we have procedures in place and everything. But anyways, I'll leave it right here, guys. Bye-bye, everybody. Again, remember, I have these pens, and these are going to go towards fundraising for my 2028 presidential campaign, okay? That's why I have these pens. Bye-bye, everybody. I love you guys. Take care of yourselves, and have a nice evening.